approval of certification of closed meeting. It's resolution 21-107.
I move that we approve resolution 21-107.
Ms. Stroud?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Staff is requesting the approval of the agenda with no added items.
So moved.
All in favor?
Ms. Stroud?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
Staff also requests the approval of the consent agenda. It consists of the minutes of the February 16th meeting, warrants, and resolution 21-114, personnel matters resulting from closed session.
I move that we approve consent agenda.
It's been moved and second. Can we get a roll call vote?
Ms. Stroud?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Aye.
This evening, we have a couple of public hearings on the agenda. The first is ZTA-2-20, Mr. Pope. Mr. Brown, we need a motion to go into public hearing.
Can we get a motion, we go into public hearing?
I move that we now go to public hearing.
Been moved and second. We go into public hearing. Can we get a roll call vote?
Ms. Stroud?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. King?
Good evening. The applicant is NR3 LLC. Mr. Joseph Carroll represents that company. The zoning text amendment tonight is requesting there we go. See you every day. All right, he's requesting to amend Article 4 of the permitted uses in primary zoning district, that table to include the following use: a natural resource recovery, refining, and recycling center within an enclosed building. We're also adding to table 4.1 the same definition, the natural resource recovery and recycling center as a use that can be allowed by a special use permit within the A1 district. And we're also requesting to add the following definition of the natural resource recovery, refining, and recycling center to chapter 23 of the zoning ordinance, which contains all the definitions. The planning commission met and they feel that the requested use of the natural resource recovery, refining, and recycling facility will allow environmentally friendly reuse of agricultural waste and can be developed with conditions imposed by a special use permit in a way that will not be a detriment nor nuisance to surrounding properties. Therefore, it's the planning commission's recommendation to approve the zoning text amendments applied for by NR3C. Any questions concerning the zoning text amendment? Okay, we'll go to SP 9-20. Again, the applicant is NR3 LLC, Joseph Carroll. The applicant is applying for a special use permit to establish this natural resource recycling center on property located off of Spring Church Road. The property is currently zoned A1 agricultural. When we look at the surrounding properties, they're zoned A1 agricultural. When we look at the existing uses in the area, you'll find a mixture of agricultural, forestal, and low density residential. When you look at the comp plan, it's located within an agricultural and forestal area on the rural development map. The planning commission met last month. They recommended approval of the applicant's SUP request with the conditions noted. I will not go over all the conditions because some of them are standard, but we'll go over the ones that are specific to this project. The drying and processing. The drying process requires any swine or poultry manure cannot occur on the subject site in Greensville County. The drying of manure must occur at the applicant's facility in Duplin County, North Carolina, or another approved facility separate from the site that's located in Greensville County. No outside storage of dry materials, manure, or other ag waste can occur on site. Waste brought to the site must be transported and covered in enclosed containers. They have to get, of course, a land use permit for VDOT for the entrance. The applicant must maintain a 150-foot vegetative buffer on the north side of the access road entering the site. A minimum of a 50-foot vegetative buffer must be maintained around the entire perimeter of the remaining portion of the site. The applicant shall install security and permanent security fencing consisting of chain link, 2-inch square, 6-foot height, surrounded by 3 strands of barbed wire. And any on-site lighting provided for the operation phase of the facility shall be dark sky compliant. Noises are limited to 67 decibels. And permanent access roads and parking areas will be stabilized with gravel, asphalt, or concrete in order to minimize dust that could impact adjacent properties. And of course, if the natural resource recovery and recycling facility is not established within 2 years of the date of special issuance of special use permit, the permit shall become void. The planning commission approved this request, like I said at the last meeting. So if you have any questions or concerns, I'll be glad to try to answer them. All right, thank you.
Mr. Brown, at this time, if you would like to ask if there were any citizens that wish to come forward and speak in regards to either of these cases, they should come forward at this time and state your name.
If you'd like to come forward, you can come and speak. You have 3 minutes.
There doesn't appear to be anyone, so we need to return to regular session so we can take action on the 2 cases presented by Mr. Cody.
I move that we now return to regular session.
Been moved and second that we return to regular session. All in favor? Roll call vote.
Ms. Straw?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Pettit?
Staff has presented the 2 cases, ZTA-2-20, NR-3 LLC's application and recommended approval.
I move that we approve both projects.
It's been moved and second to approve both projects. All in favor? Roll call vote.
Action separately, Mr. Brown.
Separate? Okay.
Yes, please.
Well, the first one,
I move that we approve ZTA-2-2020 NR-3 LLC.
all in favor? Roll call vote.
Ms. Straw?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Pettit?
I move we approve SP 9-20-NR-3 LLC.
It's been moved and second to approve SP 9-20NR-3 LLC. All in favor with roll call vote.
Ms. Straw?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Pettit?
This evening, we have a couple of appointments. Our first one is with Dr. Kim Evans, Superintendent of Greensville County Public Schools. Dr. Evans?
Good evening, Chairman Brown, board members. On behalf of the Greensville County School Board, I first want to thank you for appropriating funds to procure a facility to provide educational services for our students who, for one reason or another, will not experience success in the regular school setting. The school administration has been in talks with the owners of First Baptist Church, located beside Greensville Elementary School, to be used to house an alternative learning center, tentatively named I Believe Academy. We were expecting to have this sale completed by now. However, due to delays on the part of the seller, we have not been able to do so. We have made various calls and email attempts, and you have copies of those correspondence before you to move this sale along. Our last contact with Mr. Irvine was on February 18th, and he stated at that time that the church was still committed to making this sale. Tonight, I come before you to request, in light of the lateness of the completion of this purchase, that the money currently in our budget for the purchase of this property be reappropriated for the same purpose in the upcoming budget should the sale not occur before the end of this fiscal year. And we are cautiously optimistic that the purchase will occur, but we want to be prepared for the worst case scenario. in the event that the sale is delayed or not completed before the end of the fiscal year. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Would the board like to take action on Dr. Evans's request this evening?
I move we, reappropriate funds next fiscal year.
Let's let me move.
It's been moved and second that we approve amend. All in favor, roll call vote.
Ms. Astrop,
Aye.
Mr. Brown,
Aye.
Mr. Kane.
Thank you.
Staff will prepare the appropriation and have that for your approval at the next meeting, just a formality with the paperwork. Our second appointment this evening is concerning the library energy savings project, Mr. Cypress.
In attachment J in the agenda packet, you will find email communications between the city of Emporia and also county staff. Tonight, we have Mr. Nathan Botwright with ABM, along with Mr. William Johnson from the city, as well as Mr. Mike Allen from the city to present the library energy savings study to you all. They will be here to answer any questions as well.
Good evening to all board members and county staff. My name is Mike Allen. I'm the facility manager for the city of Emporia. And the city is currently participating in the energy service project through ABM Solutions for all city buildings, which includes the Richardson Memorial Library. Like I said, to help answer any questions tonight, I have Mr. Bob White through ABM and our city manager, Mr. William Johnson. The library is a shared service building between the city of Emporia and the county of Greensville. Some of the upgrades that were done in the library were HVAC upgrades, which is heating and air, upgrades to all interior and exterior lighting through LED bulbs, solar window film, water upgrades, which include replacing fixtures with flow devices, and building the envelope L infiltration, which details sealing all gaps in doors, windows, and walls. I had been communicating with Mr. Gray, so I just to see if the county would be willing to share the cost of the work that was done at the library. These energy savings are guaranteed by ABM, and if we do not see the savings, then they have to pretty much cut us a check. You should have in your meeting package a copy of the contract between the city of Emporia and ABM, and you should also have the scope of work performed at the library with a cost breakdown. In my opinion, I believe this is a win-win situation for the city of Emporia, the county of Greensville, and our taxpayers. The reason I say that, I do believe that the taxpayers' dollars help fund the operational costs of the library. And I believe the goal of this project is to save energy and save money and provide more efficient operation for the library. And I'll be glad to answer any questions, and Mr. Botwright may be the one to post that.
Are there any questions for Mr. Allen or Mr. Botwright regarding the energy savings project?
I don't necessarily have a question, but I do kind of have a statement, because, I mean, you saying that this work has already been done.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a reason why you didn't come before this board before the work was done to actually, I mean, if you we're gonna share on a cost of something, it would be nice to know what the cost is before it's incurred.
Well, this is, any other maintenance is done in the library. I don't come to the board of supervisors and get approval from county administrator. I don't see that this is any different than what general work is done at the library.
But we're not talking about this large amount of money in just general upkeep, which is expected.
You may have a good point there, but I didn't feel the need to have to address it with the board ahead of time.
Are there further questions for Mr. Allen?
Your question? No? Okay. Well, yeah, we appreciate it. We've actually got the improvements made. We're looking at the overall project to be complete in April. But everything at the library, as far as the major items that are in that scope of work, are complete to date. So, yeah, we're excited to have been able to make the upgrades to the library and to continue the work that we're doing within the city.
Thank you for the update, Mr. Bonner. Mr. Johnson, do you have anything to add?
I would just say it's been a wonderful project for the city. We've got a lot of things done. HVAC, key fob, the city hall, traffic lights. On the utility side, we're close to changing on all 3,000 water meters in the city to where now staff no longer has to ride out and check the water meters. It's all download automatically. Meters tamper with for meter breakthrough or leak, they're notified immediately. And once we finish the final upgrade, our citizens will be able to monitor their water usage on their smartphone. So it's a really nice project for the city. And as Mike said, the best thing about it, any shortcomings in the debt savings for the city, through the Commonwealth of Virginia, ABM will finance the difference. That's the best thing about the project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have one more thing. And so if there's a savings to be, set, for you to get something back on, how will that play with the county? If you want us to pay this part, how will we cut back in to get some of our money back?
Well, in general, and I guess that'd be an additional conversation, the savings have to be met as the whole project, which obviously the library is a part of, but we've got every building, all the water meters. So we only have to achieve the savings on the overall project, and we have to measure and verify that annually, bring those reports back. But to get to the amount of what that just library would be, and if there's a difference that would come back, that is something that would need to be discussed further, because we look at it as the overall project, and we do look at each type of measure. So lighting, that we've achieved our savings, the water upgrades, everything, and then bottom line dollar amount that we're guaranteeing annually is what we have to meet. So that answers. Okay.
I'm gonna say something. The savings will be in the operation because the cost of electricity will go down, the water source should go down. So those savings is how we finance the project for the first 15 years. And after the debt service is paid, all of the savings for the entire project comes back to the city. But in terms of the library's operation expenses, those costs will be less going forward.
Thank you. Any other questions? No? Thank you so much. We appreciate you all coming to our meeting and answering the questions for the board. Does the board wish to take action on this item this evening? Moving on to other matters, we have four items under three items under other matters. The first is in regards to the backup commission grant. Mr. Gibson is here to present it.
I'm sorry, citizens comments.
Oh, I'm so sorry, forgive me, Donna. I'm sorry, it's at the very bottom of the page. The next item is citizens comments. If there is anyone who wishes to speak to the board, please come forward and state your name. There appears to be no one. We'll move on then to other matters. Mr. Gibson, I'm trying to hurry up. Sorry.
Good evening. Attachment K in your agenda packet is resolution 21-112. It's an off-site utility tobacco grant application. The Jarrett Water Treatment Plant provides potable water to the water service area of Greensville County. The current capacity for the water treatment plant will not be able to serve new industrial and commercial clients throughout the county and in the Mid-Atlantic Advanced Manufacturing Center, a joint economic development site with the city of Emporia and Mecklenburg County. The proposed new plant will yield an annual average of 4.75 million gallons per day, and Greensville County Water and Sewer Authority received a PDR for the new facility that estimated the cost of $1,571,813 for the engineering of the new plant. The development partners of MAMAC, Greensville County and Mecklenburg counties, and the city of Emporia have determined the construction of a new water treatment plant in Greensville County will provide a minimum of 1.55 million gallons per day, or 32.63% of the new allocation of potable water to the MAMAC site. The Board of Supervisors have determined the construction of a new water treatment plant in Greensville County will provide a minimum of 1 million gallons per day, or 21.05% of the new allocation of potable water for future industrial and commercial growth in the county. Over 53% of the new allocation will be reserved for industrial and commercial growth within the county. Now therefore be it resolved, the Board of Supervisors supports the application of $785,906 to the Virginia Tobacco Commission Southside Grant for the engineering of a new water treatment plant, in part to serve future MAMAC and Greensville County industrial clients, and authorizes the county administrator to execute all documentation for the application and award. Be it further resolved that the board authorizes an allocation of 1 million gallons per day for proposed water treatment plant to be reserved to serve future economic development clients in the county. Staff recommends you adopt resolution 21-112 if you do not have any questions.
I move that we approve resolution 21-112.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 21-112. All in favor with roll call vote?
Ms. A. Sharp?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Campbell?
Attachment L in your agenda packet is resolution 21-113. It's the Jarrett Water Treatment Plant engineering support. Economic development growth is a priority in Greensville County. Greensville County has industrial development sites that are certified at Tier 4 level and marketed by the State Economic Development Group. The Jarrett Water Treatment Plant provides potable water to the water service area of Greensville County, and the current capacity of the water treatment plant will not be able to serve future industrial and commercial clients throughout the county. Greensville County agrees that 1 million gallons per day of potable water will be needed for future industrial and commercial growth in the county. A proposed new water treatment plant in Jarrett will yield an annual average of 4.75 million gallons per day, and 1 million gallons per day equates to 21.05% of the potable water available in the new treatment plant. Greensville County Water and Sewer Authority received a PDR for the new facility that estimates the engineering cost to be at $1,571,813, and is applying for 50% of the cost through grant programs. Now therefore be resolved that the Board of Supervisors authorizes an allocation of 1 million gallons per day of potable water for future industrial and commercial growth in the proposed new Jarrett Water Treatment Plant. Be it further resolved that the board authorizes $165,454, or 21.05% of remaining costs, to be paid to the authority to be used toward the engineering of the new Jarrett Water Treatment Plant. Staff recommends you adopt resolution 21-113 if you do not have any questions.
I move we approve resolution 21-113.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve resolution 21-113. All in favor with roll call vote?
Ms. A. Sharp?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Mr. Campbell?
Thank you, Don. The next item on the agenda concerns health insurance rates for the upcoming fiscal year. Ms. Whitney?
Good evening. In your agenda package attachment M, you have the memo that I prepared. We usually get the renewal rate from Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield. You did it in February of every year. They have submitted the 21-22 renewal rates for next year. Right now, we offer Key Advantage 500 and Key Advantage Expanded. with the county and the authority paying for the employee 100% for the Key Advantage 500. That would be $694 per month per employee for the fiscal year. There are no major changes to the plans this year. So the county staff is recommending the county and the authority continue to offer the two plans, Key Advantage 500 and expanded, both that have comprehensive dental benefits. And the county authority will pay the $694 per month per employee for both plans. Any questions?
I just have one. Do we ever, or are we allowed to negotiate, what they send us as far as rate?
We are in what they call the local choice, which is the local government version. So we are in the group with most local government employees. So they pooled everybody's stuff together. And then, of course, it depends on your experience factor. Well, there was a decrease this year overall, but we had 5 major claims in our group. So that kind of threw us up a little bit. Well, we would have gone up at least 10%. We only went up like 6%. So it's kind of based on an overall, which in the long run, we save money because we're in the overall group. Okay. So, if it's approved tonight, I'll go ahead and set the open enrollment for the month of April. That way employees can sign up, get out, add dependents, do whatever you need to do for July 1st.
Thank you.
We will need a motion to approve the proposed rates for FY22.
I move we approve rates for FY 21-22.
It's been moved and second to approve the rates increase. All in favor with a roll call vote?
Ms. Astrop,
Um,
Mr. Brown,
Aye.
Mr. K.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Mr. Reggie Owens is here to give the COVID-19 update on this.
Good evening.
Good evening.
According to the numbers provided by the Virginia Department of Health website, as of Sunday, February the 28th, Greensville County had a total of 1,452 positive cases of COVID reported in the past 12 months. Death toll for Greensville County was reported to be 24. During the same time frame, the city of Emporia reported 616 positive cases of COVID with 39 deaths reported. A total, according to this report, a total of 97 residents from the county and city were hospitalized due to the COVID-19 during this time frame. Based on the total population of our community, accounts for 10.8% of Crater Health District population. Our positive rate was 15.3% of the Crater population, and our death rate was 28.9% of the Crater Health District. Now, staff has worked with Crater Health District last Tuesday, and we conducted our weekly vaccination clinic. A total of 122 people came through the clinic and received either a first or second dose of the Moderna vaccine. On Saturday, February the 27th, staff supported the Greensville County Public School vaccination clinic, and where second dose vaccinations were given to 195 people in total, and the event ran very smoothly. The Virginia Department of Health will conduct vaccination clinics in our area using contract providers beginning this week. The Virginia Department of Health will place a series of robocalls to people that are on the state list or have called one of the numbers such as the Dinwiddie call center and put their name on the list. So they'll be drawing down from those lists and they'll conduct those clinics. And we're real hopeful that we're gonna migrate into using these contract providers. Right? What that'll do is that that'll give us additional vaccines in the arms of our residents as a result of that. Now, all of these clinics are being scheduled, right? It's Crater Health, the state health department is running back the scheduling appointments, and they're by appointment only. And there'll be no walk-ins or walk-ons allowed during these clinics. And all participants are required to bring their photo ID and an insurance information to the clinic. And staff realizes that our residents want vaccinations and are frustrated in the process and the waiting list, but we ask everyone to be patient, all right? With the addition of the contract vaccinated and more vaccine availability, now we have three vaccines that are approved by the FDA, right? We'll work our way through the different categories as quickly as possible. Our goal is to provide vaccines to everyone that wishes to receive one as quickly as our resources will allow us. Are there any questions? Yes, sir.
I got called before I came over tonight. And the person said that they got a phone call, the person asked them about their health insurance. And they hung up. So you're saying now, calls been made, and they're asking about their health insurance?
They're asking, the robocall to tell them to bring their insurance information, I believe.
I don't think they was, well, they said they hung up on it because they said, I thought it was something, because you're the first time I ever heard some, they never asked.
I received a call that showed up as potential spam today, and they were saying based on some claim I put in, that they wanted me to verify my insurance information and things, and it just sounded a little fishy to me. I don't think that's the robocall call, because they should identify themselves at the Virginia Department of Health. You can ask that question. And that may have been like the same, it might have been the same call I got earlier today. And, and I just sat there and I listened to the whole thing, and I just didn't give them any information.
But I wouldn't, I'm glad you said, but at least add to them if they do them.
Right. Right, they have a question, they should identify themselves. The call should identify, we're with the Virginia Department of Health. The robocall I had earlier today, they spit off something, but it wasn't the Virginia Department of Health. But hopefully with these new clinics and everything being scheduled, we're gonna be able to get a lot of people vaccinated in a very short period of time. But what we can't afford to have a lot of people just coming up trying to walk in and things. It's a registration process that the health department is working through their list. And they have a variety of lists they're trying to merge together in order to make this thing work. Any other questions?
So the robot code, called is like a scam, the Department of Trade is not doing that, right? Correct?
Say what?
The Cradle Department is not calling us.
It's the Virginia Department of Health. Is the one
They call us.
they're placing a robocall. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so and this is a new method of notifying people, I believe. So the Virginia Department of Health will have to work through to get the kinks out of their program. But this is a kind of a learn as you go type of thing. Right. But I hope the plan is for us to get a lot of vaccinations and a lot of people volunteer, this week.
I don't have health insurance.
Say what?
Suppose you call me and I don't have health insurance.
Well, then you would have to tell them that, okay? And that's the contract provider's requirement. I don't think that's BPH's. I believe my conversation with the contract provider, that's a requirement that they have in order to get credit for administering the doses. And these doses that we're getting is the Pfizer vaccine, and it's coming from the national stockpile, is where it's coming from. So all of our clinics with contract provider, until they tell us otherwise, would be administering the Pfizer vaccine. And I can imagine in the future, the Johnson & Johnson one shot will come into the picture also. So we have 3 vaccines now. We got Moderna, we got Pfizer, and then we got the Johnson & Johnson one shot. All of these are being produced. Every word we have from the federal government is that they're receiving more and more vaccines every day, every week, being shipped out. And with this mass production, of course, that's going to trickle down to where people in the Emporia Greensville area will get their vaccination. Most important thing that the resident can remember is to make sure that they go on vaccinevirginia.gov, all right, and they can check the status to make sure they're still on the list and keep their name on that list. You don't have to register twice, but you can go in and check to see if you are in fact registered.
I'm looking in, I'm supposed to be on Saturday, and I had the people to check, and they had registered when that meeting was not there, they had to be registered again.
And that,
You said the Saturday, well, make sure that they be doing verify themselves. I
Right.
have at least 2 people, they had registered, but their name was not there, so I'm telling people, do check and make sure your name is still there.
that's right, and, I think that they stopped, there was a lady that worked here on Saturday, and she was talking to me, and I told her, I think she goes to church with you. I told her, I said, you make sure all the seniors and stuff at the church know how to go on, or they can call that number, and then ask those questions and stuff. Make sure that they're registered, because at one point in time, we had like 3 different type of lists that were being created. There was one in that VAMS system, there was one from the local, and then the state started a system, and I'm not sure that all 3 of them talk to one another in the loader, so.
Now, I will say that I did register on the old system, and I went in the new system to verify that I was there, and I am in the new system.
Right.
So when they merged, it did roll over.
Okay.
And I do receive emails as well as text messages from them, usually about once a week, letting me know that, hey, you're still on there.
You're still on that list. Okay, tell you.
And then one thing I noticed about the new system that the old system would not do, the new system will let anybody, regardless of age or anything, to go on and register. So I think that's a good thing, that you can just go on and register and get it on out the way now. So when they get to your round, you're already in.
Exactly. You know, we're trying as hard as we can to work through the 1 Bravo, that, 65 and above now. And as soon as we do, then we'll go to the next section in 1 Bravo, which will open it up to people that fit that category too. So, like I say, from what the indications that I've had is by June, and I know that sounds like a long ways off, but by June, they're gonna have a good handle on administering vaccines to people that want.
Let me ask you one more question. I know they're gonna do the mass, vaccination clinics, but will we still keep our Tuesday night clinics as well?
Yeah, we're in the process now. Tomorrow night, hopefully we'll pull off the Tuesday night clinic with Crater. And then we're looking to transfer to the contract vaccinator, and we'll use them. The biggest hiccup is our Tuesday nights have always used Moderna, and the only thing they're using on these contract clinics is Pfizer, and it's too much of a chance of something happening to where somebody would be administered a Pfizer or Moderna, and they didn't need to. So we want to keep it sterile where we're either doing all Pfizer or we're doing Moderna. So yeah, our Tuesday weekly clinic should continue from everything. From every indication they gave me, the only hiccup we had this week was the contract with Pfizer. We threw an extra day in on it at the tail end from the state level, and he was gonna have to get his resources and stuff together to do that.
Do we know what day the contract launches are gonna start?
The contract should start Wednesday and run through Saturday. That's the latest as of 4:55 this afternoon. Right. But like I say, the thing we don't need people to do is come up and, try to come in because this is supposed to be an appointment only, and then make it run smooth. Any other questions?
Thank you, Ms. Owens. Staff recommends you adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
All in favor, roll call.
Ms. A. Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. Payne.
I'd like to make a motion for the record session for 1 and 2.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. A.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. Payne.
Aye. A motion for certification to close meeting. A motion.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Ms. A.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. Payne.
Aye. A motion for the approval of the agenda.
Move that we approve
Mr.
the,
King, there was one added item in closed session that needs to be included on the approval of the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda with added item.
second.
Roll call. Ms. Astrop.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. Kane.
Aye. Approval of the consent agenda, motion.
Move that we approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Roll call. Ms. Astrop.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. Kane.
Aye.
I also move that we approve, certification of closed meeting WS 21-32.
Second.
Roll call. Ms. Astrop.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. Kane.
Aye. There's no public hearing. No items of appointment, no old business, music. Resolution WS 21-33.
Attachment C in your agenda packet is resolution 21-33. It's regarding a change order number 11 for the reservoir project. Curtis Contracting Incorporated completed the reservoir and repair and improvements on Friday, January 22nd. Staff and its engineers met with Curtis Contracting and negotiated change order number 11 in the amount of $159,867.77. The authority's engineers will reduce the amount due to it under its contract for engineering services by a sum of $60,000 to enable the Water and Sewer Authority to apply that $60,000 toward the payment due to Curtis Contracting under change order number 11. The contribution by the authority's engineers of $60,000 added to the reservoir project contingency funds enables payment in the amount due under change order number 11 of $159,867.77 from the reservoir project budget, without requiring the appropriation of additional funds for this project. GCWSA staff recommends approval of change order number 11. If you approve it, it will be resolved that the Board of Directors of the Water and Sewer Authority hereby authorizes the Water and Sewer Authority Director or Assistant Director to execute the change order and therefore authorizes the payment to Curtis Contracting in the amount of $159,867.77. Staff recommends you adopt resolution 21-33 if there are no questions.
I move that we approve resolution WS 21-33.
Second.
Roll call. Ms. Astrop.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. Kane. Aye.
Attachment D in your agenda packet is resolution 21-34. It's off-site utility tobacco grant application. The water treatment plant provides potable water to the water service area of the Water and Sewer Authority. The current capacity of the water treatment plant will not be able to serve new residential growth as well as future industrial and commercial clients throughout the county and the Mid-Atlantic Advanced Manufacturing Center. The proposed new plant will yield an average of 4.75 million gallons per day. And the Greensville County Water and Sewer Authority received a PER for the new facility that estimates an engineering cost of $1,571,813. The developing partners of MAMAC, which is Greensville and Mecklenburg counties and the city of Emporia, have authorized an allocation in the construction of the new water treatment plant of 1.55 million gallons per day of potable water for the MAMAC site. The Greensville County Board of Supervisors have authorized an allocation in the construction of the new water treatment plant of 1 million gallons per day. The Greensville County Water and Sewer Authority have determined the construction of the new treatment plant in Greensville County will provide a minimum of 2.2 million gallons per day to serve existing customers and future residential growth. Now therefore be it resolved that the Water and Sewer Authority supports the application of $785,906 for a Tobacco Commission Southside grant for the engineering of the new 6 million gallon per day water treatment plant. Be it further resolved that the authority authorizes a cash match of $785,906 for any grant award. Staff recommends you adopt resolution 21-34, if there are no questions.
I move that we approve resolution SW-21-34.
Second.
Ms. Ekstrom. Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. King.
I think that Ms. Whitney just gave a report for the board regarding the increase in the health insurance rates for the upcoming year. They apply across the board to the authority. So if the authority will also take action to approve the rates for the upcoming year, she can certify her form.
I move we adjourn.
The motion on the health rates.
Oh, I thought, okay,
I'm sorry.
all right. I move we approve health rates.
Second.
Roll call. Ms. Ekstrom.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. King.
Motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Roll call. Ms. Ekstrom.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Mr. King.